All right. It's a 2-sample t-test. Head over to Stat and Test. Fourth option. That's the one you're looking for. I'll choose that. The first one I'll show you will be in stats mode. This is another one from your notes. It's the paper towel one. My first sample mean, this was the data for Bounty, had a sample mean of 117.6 and a standard deviation of 6.64. It also had a sample size of 30. The generic went 88.1, 6.3, sample size of 30. Okay, so far, if you have looked through the feature for the interval, you've seen that the information you entered is exactly the same. But again, be sure that you entered it in the correct order. In this problem, we had set it up Bounty minus generic. That's the order that I entered it. Because of that order, this was a greater than. So that's set the way we want it. Pooled no. And here we go. Okay. For the do step, the first three things are essential: t-score, p-value, degrees of freedom. Okay, you have to have all three of those. The only thing we'd add to it is to show our work for how the t-value was scored. Okay, obviously really simple, similar to the 2-sample t-interval. And the way you enter it, you just have to do the direction of the inequality for HA. It's the only thing you got to add. All right, let's go to edit. I still have the grocery bag data, which I'm going to get rid of. I'll show you another data mode. This is the one about the breaking strength of the strips of polyester. In list number 1, I am putting the breaking strength for the fabric that was buried for 16 weeks. And in list number 2, I'm putting the strips with their breaking strength after 2 weeks. And I always like to pause here, because this, if you're in data mode, this step is essential, that your data is entered perfectly. Not a single number is wrong. Okay, because if we're good here and we've got the data entered properly, the chances that we're going to get to all the correct calculations in the test stands to be pretty good. Okay. Quick side note before we go run the test. I go to stat plot. Notice how number 1 and number 2, both set to make box plots, just like it was when I showed you the interval. Zoom 9, there we go. Okay. Top one looks to be 16. Bottom one looks to be, I think that's 2. Whoops. Did not want that. 2-sample t-test. Back over to data mode. It's going to draw from list 1 and list 2. That's the correct order. So we did mu sub 16 minus mu sub 2. However, this was a less than. And there you go. T-score, p-value, degrees of freedom. And on this one, you would need all those numbers too. Again, this is another one. If you're in data mode, lots of stuff that you would need because those averages and standard deviations, you need that to show the work for your t-score. Then you also have to state the degrees of freedom, p-value, and t-score in your do step. Okay, but that is the two sample t-test.